Hello, everyone. I am Katie Cavaney, and I would like to tell you a little about myself, my group proposal, and why I selected the population that I did. I spent several years in the Army and was medically retired in 2015 for service-connected injuries. I have close friends in the service still, and both my father and mother are veterans. As such, veteran issues, especially ones that deal with disability and rehabilitation, are very important to me. Increasing incidence rates of PTSD and suicide are significant factors facing veterans returning home from war and conflict. Mental health professionals attest to the growing population of veterans with PTSD. As the stigma associated with admitting to symptoms of PTSD subsides, it is likely that we will see continued increase in incidence reports. It is important that we, as healthcare professionals, assist this underserved population to combat the effects of PTSD and learn methods for leading meaningful lives. I plan to use contemplative psychotherapies, acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, and mindfulness techniques to assist veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder in a group-based counseling format. ACT is supported by empirical evidence to successfully treat PTSD. ACT is a form of psychotherapy that fosters acceptance rather than avoidance or control over unwanted thoughts or feelings. ACT encourages separation from one's thoughts and recommends observation of one's thoughts from the perspective of an outside observer. ACT also promotes awareness of one's values and the alignment of one's values and actions to increase flexibility, well-being, and meaning. Group therapy based on ACT allows group members to address feelings associated with combat-related trauma and any readjustment difficulties, to engage in actions consistent with their values and find meaning in their lives, and to look to one another for support and successful coping strategies. My target population will include individuals who have PTSD resulting from trauma experienced during their time in the military. The screening process will include those who have been diagnosed by a healthcare professional with PTSD as a result of exposure to trauma while serving in the military, or individuals in the process of receiving an official diagnosis but can answer yes to 3 of the 4 questions on the VA's PTSD screening tool, the Primary Care PTSD Screen. This screening tool is currently used by the VA to screen veterans enrolled in their healthcare system for PTSD. The Primary Care PTSD is a 4-item screen. It asks, in your life, have you ever had any experience that was so frightening, horrible, or upsetting that in the past month you, 1, have had nightmares about it or thought about it when you didn't want to? Yes or no are your options. Number 2, tried hard not to think about it or went out of your way to avoid situations that reminded you of it? Yes or no. Number 3, were constantly on guard, watchful, or easily startled? Yes or no. And number 4, felt numb or detached from others, activities, or your surroundings? Again, yes or no. And there is a DSM-5 revised version of this tool that's been developed and is undergoing validation currently. Once screening is completed, individuals whose objectives best fit those of the group will be selected to participate in the group. The group will explore topics associated with ACT that include experiential avoidance, cognitive fusion, willingness, and values. Additionally, we will explore the effects of mindfulness techniques to include contemplation, meditation, and yoga. The goal of the group will be to learn techniques to overcome negative thinking associated with combat-related PTSD and to determine through alignment of values and behavior methods of living meaningful lives. While following the plan set out for the group toward accomplishment of its goals, other therapeutic factors I hope to incorporate are installation of hope and a sense of camaraderie or comfort that members are not alone in struggling with their experience, thereby encouraging altruistic behavior. The group will be evaluated using the Hill Interaction Matrix, which helps to examine the interactions between members and any assumed therapeutic benefit of the interactions. We will use feedback completion sentences to reinforce new perspectives and support one another's continued progress. Additionally, we will complete the Acceptance and Action Questionnaire 2 at the start and end of group work to help assess ACT's effectiveness. The rationale for using ACT to treat this population is that ACT is supported by empirical evidence to successfully treat PTSD. The VA in 2016 lists ACT as a treatment method for PTSD on its website and cites that several case studies support the success of ACT in treatment of PTSD. The VA goes on to suggest that group counseling is another successful treatment option for veterans with PTSD. Peer-to-peer support can facilitate healthy coping strategies in a supportive environment in which group members see that they are not alone in suffering with their experience and work on accepting and overcoming their disorder and the stigma associated with it. Group therapy based on ACT allows group members to address feelings associated with combat-related trauma and any readjustment difficulties, to engage in actions consistent with their values and find meaning in their lives, and to look to one another for support and successful coping strategies. I'm going to now discuss the theoretical foundation for ACT. ACT aims to recognize and accept what is out of your control and commit to action that brings value and meaning to your life. The primary goals of ACT are diffusion, acceptance, and engagement in the present moment. ACT seeks to increase psychological flexibility. Diffusion is recognizing and separating yourself from negative feelings, thoughts, or memories. Acceptance is coming to terms with painful feelings and letting them go. Contacting the present moment means having an openness to experiencing the here and now. There are 6 core processes of ACT. They include acceptance, cognitive diffusion, being present, self as context, values, and committed action. These processes combine to create psychological flexibility, the process of accessing the present moment as a fully conscious human being, and continuing or changing behavior to allow you to engage in actions that are in alignment with your values. ACT is recognized by both the American Psychological Association and the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration as an evidence-based treatment method according to the Association for Contextual Behavioral Science. Additionally, the VA acknowledges the effectiveness of ACT in treating veterans with PTSD. Dr. Robin D. Walser, with the Dissemination and Training Division of the Department of Veterans Affairs, National Center for PTSD, and former president of the Association for Contextual Behavioral Science, attest to ACT's success in treating veterans with PTSD. Though specific quantifiable data is still needed to determine how effective ACT is in treating veterans with PTSD, research suggests that the dropout rate is reduced with ACT and that it is a comprehensive method which alleviates symptoms of PTSD and other comorbidities. Now I'd like to address membership criteria. This group will consist of veterans who have PTSD resulting from trauma experienced during their time in the military or are in the process of being diagnosed by a healthcare professional, but can answer yes to 3 of the 4 questions in the VA's PTSD screening tool. Group members will be referred by one of 4 sources, either a Veterans Affairs counselor, mental health professional, social worker, or a vocational rehabilitation counselor. The timeline for my proposed group will consist of 10 weekly sessions. The sessions will last for 1.5 hours. The structure of each session will include greeting group members, announcements, review of the prior week's materials, and discussion of homework assignments. The group leader will discuss the intention for the group session and what will be covered. Session 1 will cover ground rules and a general meet and greet. Session 2 will cover rationale behind ACT and its benefits. Section 3 will cover experiential avoidance. Session 4, cognitive fusion. Session 5, acceptance and willingness. Session 6, values. 7, commitment to action. 8, psychological flexibility. 9, mindfulness and mindfulness techniques. And 10, and the final session will discuss wrapping up our group session, feedback, and follow-up. These topics and activities were selected to encourage veterans with PTSD to separate from their thoughts, observe their thoughts from a different perspective, promote awareness of one's values and the alignment of one's values and actions to increase psychological flexibility, and to promote well-being and meaning-driven lives. This concludes my group proposal. Please let me know if you have any questions or feedback. Thank you.